Hey, what's up everybody? I'm already a little out of breath at the start of this video because I mountain biked up to the start of this trail today that I'm going to take you on. This is a mountain by my house called Takamado-san. It's a pretty small one, but it is really hot today. Really hot, about 35 degrees right now. To be honest, I should not even be hiking because it's kind of dangerous, but I brought a lot of water with me, so hopefully this will work. You can see my bike right there parked behind a tree. And actually just at the start of the trail, I saw a giant centipede. I tried to get it on camera, but it ran away. But we'll see what other wildlife we can see today, so stick around. All right, just started walking and just wanted to show you guys the trail a little bit. That's what it's like. It's nothing special really. This is kind of just a trail that the locals use. But oh, something jumped in the water down there. It could have been a frog. But yeah, they actually have a festival in the summer coming up pretty soon in August where they burn a Chinese character, like a figure in the mountain. It's called, it's like Daimonjiaki in Kyoto. You might know that Daimonjiaki is famous there over Obon season. They actually do one in Nara as well on this trail. You can see this trail is not very well kept up, actually. So I don't know how this will go, but yeah, they do a similar festival in Nara. It started after the war though, and it's actually to remember and honor the Japanese war dead who died in World War II. So it's really like a ceremony for that. I think not a lot of people know that, but if you walk up to the top of this mountain, there's a memorial plaque that says that this is dedicated to the war dead. So whereas in Kyoto, the Daimonjiaki is a very old festival, here it's actually very recent. Okay, I just want to hold this up. I don't know if this is anything, but I found a little black seed right here too. Just as I was walking, I noticed this. This, I think, might be from a tree that drops these little orange like fruits, actually. That cut me out. There's a tree that drops these fruits, I was going to say, and the seed from the inside is like this little black seed, and it's really hard. They make juzu out of these little prayer bead bracelets are oftentimes made out of these, so it's kind of a cool little find. Here you can see I'm about to cross a little stream as well. There's not a lot of rivers and water in Nara, especially in the plain area where we are. We're kind of right on the edge of it. So from kind of ancient times, actually, they've had they'll have pools of water. Whoa, here's a giant beetle. Look at this. Look at this giant beetle. Wow, here, let me get a stick and see if I can poke this guy. Wow, that is giant. That is big. Look at him go. I'll have to look up what kind of beetle that is later. But anyway, I was saying that they'll have like chosuike, little ponds of water that they'll store it up and use for rice farming and whatnot. And they still kind of do this because the Nara plain valley is actually really dry, and there's not a lot of sources of water here. Here's a pond actually right here. It looks really dirty. Oh my gosh, though, look at this. I don't know if you can see this, but in this pond, there are thousands of tadpoles. They're giant tadpoles. I don't know how well you can see this, maybe not at all. They're in there though. These are giant tadpoles. So lots of frogs still gonna be coming out. Here's another one of these seeds. I'll have to look up the name of the tree. In English, it's called a, I think it's called a soapberry tree. It might be mukudoji in Japanese. Don't quote me on that until I check it later, but it's got these really hard seeds. So a soapberry tree, like I was saying, has these little orange fruits that fall down to the ground, and when you squish them and rub them in water, they get really foamy. And people a long time ago, up until early Showa, actually used to use that as soap to and also detergent to wash their clothes. So it's a pretty neat tree. They often grow by temples because the monks use these seeds for the juzu. I'll see if I can find one around here. But yeah, not a lot of people know that, but it's a neat tree. You can see a little more of the trail, by the way, that I'm walking on. This is a little bit steeper, and in places it gets really steep than Takisaka no Michi, the trail I went on last episode. So yeah, I might be a little bit out of breath. Not to mention, again, like I said, it's 35 degrees in the sun. So this is approaching deadly heat. Okay, here's another cool tree. You can see this here. It has these giant leaves. Which you can see, I mean, these are as big as my head, actually. What's so funny is they're on these tiny little branches. These all fall off in the fall, late summer, fall. And when they're on the ground, they're just enormous, actually. I don't know what the name of this tree is. I'll have to look it up later. But it's kind of a funny tree that is in this spot. All right, so now I'm walking, and the trail's gotten a bit steeper. You can see I'm in basically these are all different kinds, mostly of acorn trees. Lots of different, they don't have acorns on them yet, but you see the ground is just littered with leaves. These are all mostly acorns, different kinds. So kashi, nara, would be some of this generic species name in Japanese. But yeah, the trail's getting a bit steeper. It's actually a really short trail though. Just kind of a quick little steep climb up to the top, and at the top there's going to be a huge opening and a clearing, because like I said, they have that kind of, they burn a fire in the shape of a Chinese character, Dai, which means big, in August. So they have this cleared space, a grass space, and it's pretty cool. Like, there's pretty much no people up here. Everybody goes up the other mountain, Wakakuseyama, which is also, whoa, skin slippery, which they also, they burn that mountain too, so that it's all grass. Oh, I see a person ahead of me. Might want to talk with them too. But yeah, it's a cool view from up at the top, so I'm excited to show you that. Kuwagata.
Stag beetle.
A stag beetle, yeah. Oh no, sorry. I got it. I'll grab him. He found kuwagata, stag beetle. Just like this, they're giant beetles.
結構これはでかい方です。
これは大きいですね。
はい。
すごいです。ごめんなさい。ちょっと すいません。
うん
ありがとうございます。すごい。わあ、めちゃくちゃ大きいです。
うん
これは、オスでメスもいましたか？
あ、メスもいました。
へえ。
写真だけ
It's really cool. He's collecting bugs, kuwagata, giant stag beetles. So the two big beetles are kuwagata and kabuto mushi. And that was a giant kuwagata, but apparently there's a ton of them around here, and he's collecting them. He showed me pictures of some that he has. He just has dozens of them that he's caught at a time. So that was pretty interesting. Here's also, I just found some old chestnuts on the ground. This is a chestnut. I don't know if I can break it open right now because I only have one hand available, but there's a bunch of chestnuts on the ground. So there must be, this is maybe the chestnut tree actually. They're not growing on it right now, so that's from last year. But they're all over the ground. Giant chestnut casings. Maybe you could pick some and roast them up. So I'm already basically at the final push to the top. You can see there's some trees down. And I hear a deer running in the woods. I think I scared it. I had heard some deer calling earlier. A really sharp, kind of piercing screech, scream. And so I just heard it run off into the woods. I'm sure it's watching me right now, but I don't see it. But as you know, there's lots of deer, obviously. That's what Nara is famous for. But these are deer that are not in the park. They're out in the woods, so they're wild. And they definitely scare when you get close. But you can see how this trail is not really taken care of. There's just trees down. And then we get this final little push at the end. It's really steep. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. So here we go. Okay. Wow, there's all kinds of stuff moving around in the woods right now. I just heard more stuff. Something moving over there. Oh, there it was. Yes. There's something. That's a lizard. Let's see if I can find him. I scared him. He's off here. Let's see. There he is. There he is. Did you see that? That was a kanahebi. That's a kanahebi lizard. Let's see if I can poke it. Where is he? Oh, yeah, he darted away. There he is. There he is right there. He's like a brown lizard, long tail. They call him kanahebi, like little snake lizard. I don't really think they look like a snake. They look more like a lizard, but that's what they're called anyway. Okay, so here we are, right at the top. I'm gonna kind of jog up this because it's almost easier to run. It's easier to run up it. Otherwise, your feet are slipping too much. Yes. Here we go. Woo. Oh, we got it. Look at that. Look at that. There we go. We're up here, up on the top, and just look at this valley. You can see below me the whole Nara Valley, Nara Bonchi. And up here, you have this wide open grass field. Over there, right there, let's see if I'm pointing at it the right way. There we go. That's Wakakusayama, the other mountain that everybody climbs up that I was telling you that is also, they burn it so it's all grass in the summer right now. Okay, so these are the hidoko. Wow, there's all kinds of these berries up here too, seeds. These are the hidoko where they have the fire. They that they would put it off and it makes a big dai shape, a kanji character for dai. These are water pails for putting out the fires. So they just leave those up here. You can see, maybe, I hope you can, right down there, I think, right around there is Kofukuji. It's all in scaffolding right now because they're fixing it up. It's a big project. It's going to take a couple years. But Kofukuji, that's one of the tallest buildings around here, actually. Okay, so I'm going to run up to the top here. And wow, someone is collecting these seeds in little piles. Could be monkeys. I'm not sure. But let's see. Let's see what we can find up here. I'll show you guys this marker too. Oh, it is so hot. You can hear the grass crunching under my feet. Just lets you know how dry it is right now. We had a really short rainy season, not long enough, so things are dry. But here we go. Getting there. By the way, just look at this. This is so steep, actually, that it looks like you're just about ready to fall off, it feels like. But because of that, the view is just spectacular. Here's this marker. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it says Ire-sai. And then, oh no, sorry. It says, Ire Nara Daimonji Okuribi Yudai. Ire-sai Nara Daimonji Okuribi Yudai. So, it talks about the origins of why this is here. 8月15日、終戦記念日である、桃とのこの日、戊辰戦争をはじめとする2回にわたる世界大戦や日清日露の両戦約その他の事変にあたり国家に、救急を信じ、身を何とかもの意志を持って国難に準じた奈良県出身の英霊に、okay. So it's 29,243 柱の供養のために Yeah, so alright, so yeah, like I said, just all of the soldiers from Nara that died from the Meiji period in different wars. There's apparently 29,243 soldiers that are memorialized here with this ceremony of Daimonjiaki. And then it explains more. You can see here's the character for Dai, etc. They're also honored at Gokoku Jinja, which is over there. And so, yeah. So that's what this is about, basically. I didn't really come up here to see this. I just came up for the hike. But it's kind of an interesting tidbit that this is also here. So I'm going to look for some shade now, actually, because it is insanely hot and the sun is just sinking into the west. You can see over there, meaning that there's basically no shade here. So I have to go up really high up here to find a shady spot, which I think I see. And I'm gonna hydrate because, wow, shoot, it's really, the grass is not very good here to sit down. But I'm gonna take a little break for a second, and I'll be back shortly. Well, I finally found a rock to sit on. I don't even know if you can see it, but it's a little place that's at least off the dirt. And so that's kind of nice. And you can see here that I have this pretty good view. And I'm really in the shade. I had to douse myself with some water because it is just way too hot. I was overheating massively. But I feel really cooled off now. And I'm sitting on this rock here. You can kind of see some interesting things around me if you look carefully. This is another stag beetle head. This would have gotten eaten by another stag beetle or a bird or something. And they just kind of drop. And so that's part of the body there. But yeah, there are a lot of them. Wow, that's neat. And then if you go back that way, you can keep taking this trail, and it connects to a road. It's a pay toll road that you can take that goes along the top of this mountain range and back down around Takamado-san, the mountain I'm on now. That's a pretty neat toll road. And if you want, you can walk along part of that, and it connects back to Takisaka no Michi, the path that I was on last time. So I'm not too far away from where I was on the last walk. But yeah, lots of good trails. You can do it even in the summer when it's 35 degrees if you want. Oh, I don't know if you can see this also. But Todaiji, you can see maybe down there as well. That also towers above everything. Todaiji, where the giant Buddha statue is. So that's where most of the tourists are, actually. Everyone goes over there. Some people make it up to Wakakusayama over there. But as you can see here, there's nobody. It's almost always just me or some other local person, like the bug enthusiast that we just met. That was really cool, by the way. So yeah, this is a nice trail. And I'm gonna sit here and relax for a while, have some nuts, because that's one of my favorite trail snacks, and try to get some energy back before the hike down. Wow, you can see that there's a nokogiri kuwagata right in there in this tree. This is kunugi. Kunugi って英語で何て言うんでしょうかね。お、スズメバチもいます。
あ、スズメバチもいます。
ちょっと危ないですね、これは。相当でかいですね。この時期のスズメバチはよっぽどのことしなきゃ襲ってこない。そうなんですか。That's a suzumebachi. You can't see this right now, but it's as big as a small bird, basically. It's huge. There's まあなんか確かにじゃあこの虫たちが食べてるのが全部樹液でしょうかね。そうしたら。でスズメバチがかじってくれるから樹液が出るんですよね。そうなんですか。Wow, that's amazing. He said the suzumebachi, the giant bee, eats at the tree until the sap comes out. And then the other bugs come and start eating it. And that's how you get bugs like this. He's kind of hiding back there, isn't it? This kuwagata back there. Wow. すごいですね。面白いです。やっぱりよくよく見れば、あと、まあでもね、この何種類かいますよ、この木に。ノコギリだけじゃなくて。This is why you have to look at each of the trees so carefully, because there's actually a ton of stuff on them. It's really interesting. Wow, that is cool. I want to stay away from that bee, though. So he's got this stick that you poke back into the tree and drag the bugs out. So one of them just dropped off, and he's right here. There he is. This guy is... Whoa, この人もなかなか大きいですね。Look at that. He's really big. Wow. Oh my gosh, he was right in the tree, just eating at the sap from the tree and was hiding in there. There's another cool bug there. That's shiroten hana
WWII。
Muguri.
はい。
Wow, that's really cool. He knows a lot about beetles. That's another big one. Oh my goodness, they all came out of there. Wow. So I'm down off the mountain now. That was a really cool trip, mostly because I met that fellow who was so knowledgeable about bugs and who was collecting kuwagata and many other things. So that was a really cool, unexpected surprise. Actually, I just wanted to show you guys what the mountain looks like from over here. So that's it. You can see behind me right there. Got some really big cumulus clouds actually right now right above it, which looks kind of cool. That's very typical of summer. Could mean that some big rains are coming tonight. Maybe, maybe not. But that's what it is right there at Takamado-san. It's a pretty cool mountain. But thanks a lot for tuning in, and looking forward to seeing you next time.